What's good, guys? Welcome back to the Backroom. I'm your boy CG.
This your boy Bernard Barr.
Let's have a real conversation. All right, man. Today, we're going to talk about something that literally everyone in the world is affected by. Parental programming.
Oh, okay.
So, parental programming is basically all the things that you've gone through with your parents subconsciously shape you as an adult.
Yeah.
That's why you have similarities to your dad or your mom or whoever it was that, you know, had influence on you that had responsibility or guardianship of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that it could be good, it could be bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think personally for myself, it took a long time to kind of understand that what that was.
Yeah.
You know, and I look at my life of like, why did I do this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is the reason I did this? I bought brand new cars.
Oh, I know.
Why did I do this? That's because growing up, we always had to fix the car.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And also I was in a job that I couldn't be fixing my car all the time. You know, and then especially having kids and then like, you know, being separated and having to come visit from coast to coast pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I couldn't be breaking down in between getting there with them or coming back or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that was part of the parental program.
Yeah.
The houses that I bought really nice houses because I never lived in a really nice house. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was suitable, but it was just like, it was always things that had to be done. I didn't want to have to do those things. I wanted to focus on what I wanted to do myself personally instead of maintaining my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's I understand where you're coming from with the parental programming because a lot of that, like you can even call that sort of like childhood trauma, almost in a way, because
well, it depends though.
It depends, but what the reason why I say that, because sometimes the way that you was brought up in your childhood will affect things in your adulthood. Because I like to say, like, for me, like, my mom, like, probably one of the strongest women I've ever known. But the one thing about being raised by a single, you know, mother,
right?
I felt like she was very protective. In her way, she always made me aware of people. Where it's like, watch out for that person, watch out for this person. So, you know, that person may not be your friend. So when I got into adulthood, like it was really hard to trust people and to kind of let people in on my life. You know what I'm saying? So it's, in a way, like I said, it could be a little childhood trauma, but a lot of parental programming. So like, I'm very, you know, skeptical, and you know how I am. Like, hey man, who is that?
Right.
You know, who's coming around?
Right.
And sometimes I found myself even like pushing people away once they was getting too close to me. You know, even if we look at like relationships where it made me hard. Like, I was always wondering, like, okay, what does this person really want from me? Like, you know.
And you know, as I became an adult, I started, like, I think it was early on, I noticed certain things, like, dang, man, like, this is the same thing my dad done, and now I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? And it you know, and it was just one of those things where, like, you gotta be, it's hard to kind of like point it, like pinpoint it until it's not good for you, or somebody else points it out.
Yeah.
You know, now it's different if you growing up and your parents have actually already been through their whole mental reboot and everything, and have created a life like what I'm doing, like what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing for my kids, and you're doing for your future kids.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Don't have any kids. We got to put that out there.
Right. Future kids.
Future kids.
You know, as a parent, if you create a healthy environment for yourself, you kind of, as a byproduct, create a healthy environment for people around you, including your kids, your family, and everything. And so with that said, like, you know, in general, your kids are gonna know that if they're in a situation and it's not healthy for them, they're gonna know, like, damn, this don't seem like a healthy environment. This don't seem like a good place to be. So, but on the other hand, if you weren't kind of groomed in a healthy environment, you may not even know. And you know, it could be in the actual healthy environment. You might not know that this is a healthy environment until you aren't in a healthy environment.
Until you're not in one.
Yeah. But then it's also the other way around. You could be in a toxic environment growing up, and if it works in that family orientation, you know, that family culture, then you may come outside and think that that's how you can be with everybody in the world, and find out that's not how it goes. You know what I'm saying? So and the thing is you got to understand that what is actually good and what's bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it necessary for you to say certain things a certain way or whatever, like, or be a certain way? Is that something that you made up in your mind? Oh, I'm gonna be like this, but it's subliminally is because of how your parents were.
Oh yeah,
or how your living conditions were.
And because it's a lot to take in with that too, because a lot of people who have kids have to understand, like, if you have multiple kids, then your kids are different people. Like, they have different personality. Oh, yeah. So, but if you are a parent who create like a competitiveness between your kids, then what are you gonna think gonna happen to, like, you can't expect them to be close later on in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's because those type of things, that's gonna rub off sooner or later in their life. So now they're gonna go meet other people, and they just as competitive, they just as ruthless. You know, because they were like that with their own family members. Yeah. So what they're gonna be like when they run into somebody and just say they're playing a sport and now it's a team sport.
Right. They don't know how to be a team.
They're not gonna know how to be a teammate.
And you know, I got twins, and even with having twins, they're really, like, their personalities is like really complex. So they have different personalities at different times. Yeah. So their personality is never the same at the same time. So there may be a way that one of them is being, but then the other one will be it'd be different than that. Not necessarily opposite, but just different. But then next thing you know, the other one will be that way, and then they'll like switch. Is I don't know, some weird twin stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's you know, they have, like, I guess for me as a parent of twins, like, I can identify what their core personalities are, but there's certain traits that they kind of switch back and forth, like, over time randomly. I don't know what it is.
Well, see, me growing up, you know, I was the middle child. Me and my brother, like, people swore, like, okay, we're identical, even though, you know, he's 5 years apart from me. And he's the older brother.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. There's a couple times I thought your brother was me, bro.
No, but I'm gonna tell you what ends up happening with that, right? Okay, so if you were raised in an environment where everybody always thought I was my brother, right? Okay, I'm in the middle. So what does that happen to me? Like, I don't want to be nothing like him. And it's no offense to you, bro. I love you, but it caused me to be like, oh, okay, people may say my brother is quiet or so. Well, I'm gonna be a rapper. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I'm gonna be in the spotlight. You're gonna shape me. I'm gonna be shaped different because you're gonna know who I am. I always respected the people who actually can tell us apart. Like my sister, she'll be like, they nothing alike.
Right.
Like I know them up and down, like who's different.
I can say with my brother, like, how do I put this? Basically, I was always put up as the book smart person, and he was always put as the street smart person.
Oh, see, now this that parental, see.
And it's one of those things that we're like, it kind of like, it took me into my adult years to like kind of, because I was programmed, that's what I thought. And then it's like, years later, it's like, man, like I actually had to have a talk with my brother, because that was just always the running thing of, as in a sense that I'm smarter than him or whatever like that. We just made different like choices. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we're looking at it now like I done moved here closer to my brother. We're doing the same things. So that shows that we have the same intelligence level, no matter how, like I have, degrees, finished school, all that stuff. Like he ain't go that route, but he's still living his life the way he want to live it.
But see, it doesn't take the fact when we say a parental programming that it took you into the adulthood to realize and to look at your brother, because you're thinking, well, I'm the book smart. I'm the one that's smart in the book. And then until you probably had a conversation with him, and it's like, hey,
see, I'm gonna tell you what that does is it can put a real divide between people.
Oh,
like
of course.
When you're talking about intelligence, and it doesn't even matter. You're not even siblings. You know what I'm saying? Like when you put an intellectual divide between people, it causes causes insecurity for the person that you're saying isn't as intellectual as this person. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that, that could have been a bad thing if me and my brother weren't as close as we were. It could have been like, well, he just think he better than everybody and all this. Like, it could have put me in a position where I may have felt like I was better than him or whatever like this. And that never was the case.
Never was the case.
Know what I'm saying?
And it creates that. That's the reason why I told you, if you goes back to that competition thing, or you're putting this child against that child, and they don't realize what happened as a kid. But as you get older, you're like, yeah, they did say that. Right. They probably used to say to me, well, you're a little more friendly than your brother. Like I'm hearing that, and I'm just like, at one point in time, like I told
people.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying?
He's too.
That's the thing. Like,
he's a different person, and so. But to me, I'm like, as me and my brother have a conversation, I'm like, they don't get him at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like, you're not this guy that they're trying to paint you out to be, or put this label on you. Yeah,
and that's the thing. Like, I feel like people need to look at family members, especially, like, stop comparing everybody to everyone else. Just appreciate what each person gives. Yeah. And try to give the best for them, because I feel like that's kind of a mental programming where you actually convince someone that they are a certain way that they might not be. And that's
pretty much what it is, especially when you're raising kids, man. Like, I'm telling you, man, this is a good conversation. Now, I don't know if we gonna do another part to it. We might, but at some point, hey, man, this was a good conversation, man.
All in all, I just feel like you got to be real careful about, well, one, you got to acknowledge like why you have the traits that you have, and what kind of traits that you're setting for your kids. Do you want your child to be like you? You know what I'm saying? So really, that's what it is. Parental programming in a nutshell.
Yeah, and I feel like let your child be the individual they're supposed to be. I feel like you can guide them, like kind of guide them. Like if you see the path that they're on, if it's a good path, like guide them to that person that they are meant to be, not just you.
Right.
You know, you guide them, because that's really what it's about, man. If you use parental programming the right way, that's what I would say.
Well, that's it, guys. It's your boy CG.
It's your boy Bernard Barr.
And we out.